Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Monday Merriment. Today is November 25th, 2024. The moon phase is waning, and the moon sign is in Libra. It's a good time to do spells to resolve legal matters and family issues. Last week we discussed feng shui, and I was doing a lot of thinking about, rearranging my home and adding more color and, opening myself up to more, positive energy. And I did a lot of cleaning, right? And I still have some to do. There's an extra room. That's actually my son's room, but, he prefers to sleep out in the living room, which is fine. But uh, I was thinking about, in my little patio space. And, I miss the 99-cent store mainly because they used to have all kinds of like, things for your garden. Like they would actually have plants that you could buy. Now, I didn't like buy all my plants at the 99-cent store. But it would start my garden, meaning like, because I have a small patio space, I kind of rely on flower pots. So I would go to the 99-cent store and they'd have them all out in the outside, so you can go pick them up. And I would buy a few there, quite a few. And then I would go across the street, which was a Home Depot, and purchase, some additional flowers. But I would say a big bulk of my flower pot garden consisted of 99-cent store flowers. I missed the 99-cent store. So I was thinking, it's very expensive for, just to put up a lot of different flowers, because I like a variety of color in the back, in my backyard space or in my patio space or whatever. But I kept thinking, man, that's kind of expensive, I don't want to put out a lot of money. And I know it back in the past, I would look at some people who, used artificial flowers for their garden. Now, maybe I was thinking, um, that the flowers that they used were too fantastic, meaning they didn't look like natural plants. They actually looked like, they looked plastic or they looked whatever. So I kind of thought, I don't really like that idea. But when it comes to the autumn time, I feel as though I'm going to do a little cheating. So I decided to purchase some artificial plants just for this time of the year, okay? Because it would actually be cheaper to do this, get artificial plants instead of actually buying, individual plants and then putting them in flower pots. So I thought these were really cute. I don't know how you feel about using artificial plants in your garden. One thing about real plants is that they vibrate a strong energy, not just with their color and everything else. It's the actual live plant giving off this vibrant energy. But I also make use of the energy like of a picture that a painted picture of flowers too, because that does have its own special energy as well. So I made peace with it in my mind, because I used to think that everything had to be real, everything, and I prefer things to be real, really I do, but sometimes you have to, improvise, and that's fine. I know last year I purchased some astroturf for like the side part of the patio to put my plants and stuff like that on there, and I the decision to use AstroTurf came easy to me because, I figure I don't have any grass, so why not? So I guess I struggled with, accepting artificial flowers, but now I'm opening myself up to it, mainly because I think it's cheaper. Now, during the spring, I feel like, I'm going to go ahead and, go out and buy some real flowers. But for now, I guess I'm going to be using the artificial flowers. And I would say that Amazon has quite a variety of beautiful, beautiful artificial arrangements for the outside um, to choose from. So, I will put the link in the description box for artificial flowers if you're interested in doing that. But I would love to hear your feedback on how you feel about that. Because, like I said, some people are really picky. They want real stuff. And some people are willing to, improvise, and some people they just couldn't imagine doing it. But I would like to hear, what your opinion is on that. But the whole point is to beautify my space. And I did buy a little table for my outside patio about a year and a half ago. And, I just need a place to sit down and, have my coffee or my lunch every once in a while. And I do want it to look pleasant. So, I think these artificial flowers are an answer to the problem, because I let my garden go. I just didn't really put a lot of care in it through depression and whatever, and I'm not happy with the way that it looks. So this right here, this little arrangement seems reasonable in price, and they have a bunch of different other ones. I like to use a lot of oranges, a lot of yellows during this time of the year, and browns. So anyway, the link will be in the description box. Well, once again, the holiday has caught me off guard and unprepared. I know I had mentioned in my last quarterly newsletter that I would be celebrating things Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Now, because me and my son are adults and we don't really do a whole lot. Mainly, what we focus on is what we're going to eat food wise. We don't have any big celebrations going on. But so this year, once again, I'm going to be scrambling around at the last minute looking for a turkey. Last year, or 2 years ago, I would think I was prepared more. There's a lot of stuff in my refrigerator right now, and I don't really have room for a turkey. So I'm going to ask my son, what exactly do you want for Thanksgiving? Chances are we're going to probably do the turkey, but I will be running around at the last minute trying to get the stuff together. But I think it's important to have, a really nice meal, on these occasions. And, I don't really eat a lot of sweets. I prefer not to. I think sweets for me causes me instant depression. I mean, sure, it tastes good while I'm eating it, but shortly after, I tend to become very, very depressed. I think sugar for me is something that I try to avoid as much as possible. But on the holidays, I do make an exception because, it's nice to have some sweet treats or whatever. So I wanted to kind of go over, some of the traditional holiday dinners. And I don't have a kitchen table. I did have one, but, I decided to get rid of it and make more space in the kitchen. So, but if you don't have a kitchen table, you can always, and you want to have food with your family, you could, arrange things on the floor, or, you could just kind of hang out on your couch or whatever. That's fine too. I do think it's nice to have a kitchen table, and it's also nice to prepare, things ritualistically, if you can. I look at Thanksgiving as, it's a holiday, a national holiday, okay, but I do also look at it as a time to uh, recognize the things that we do have and be grateful for those things. And I think the holiday celebration of the food, when you think about it, we're going to talk a little bit about food magic, okay? When I think about the symbolism of the food, is what I mainly focus on. And when I'm consuming it, I'm showing gratitude. I'm very grateful for each bite of the food that I have and what it represents. So we're going to go over some of that right now. Now, some people choose to not have like the traditional Thanksgiving dinner. Some people prefer to have roast beef that day. Some people just want to have steak. Some people really want to step away from the whole turkey thing, But when it comes to Thanksgiving, I I try to be as traditional as I possibly can. I enjoy having turkey. Turkey is a rare meat that I consume. I usually limit my turkey consumption to maybe 3 times a year. Now, I prefer turkey, like the whole turkey, but I have noticed like when you buy turkey in individual pieces, it doesn't taste the same. I prepare it the same way, but it doesn't taste the same unless it's attached to the entire carcass. It's very strange. I'm trying to figure that out. But anyway, turkey is the main meat that is consumed on Thanksgiving, and turkey symbolizes gratitude and endurance. And this is something that you can focus on as you're preparing the turkey as well as consuming the turkey. Cranberry sauce is another commonly consumed food during this time of the year. Cranberries are great for protection. You don't have to have cranberry sauce. Some people want to eliminate it, but you might like cranberry juice and you might serve that for your dinner instead. Also, the cornbread stuffing. Cornbread symbolizes divination, luck, and protection. For the holiday meal, I generally focus on the luck and protection. And some people use, what do you call those, like stuffing type mixes. Those are fine too. But I generally prepare like the actual cornbread because I like the real cornbread. And as I'm preparing the cornbread, I'm focusing on those things, the luck and protection, not so much the divination. But if that's what you want more of in your life, why not focus on that too? Okay. The green bean casserole. I'm thinking what green beans really represent. Green beans are green, of course, and that's usually something that symbolizes money. When I think of the ingredients that go into the green bean casserole, now I think most people recognize this just right off the top. The green bean casserole, you usually have like either 2 cans of, which is like 14 ounces, two 14-ounce cans of green beans, or you can use frozen, okay? And then you usually throw in like a can of cream of mushroom, and then like those little things that you put on top. What are those little crushed? I don't know what they call those things, but anyway, either you can put bread toppings on the top, or you can have some other topping on there. The mental pathways comes from the mushrooms in the soup. Okay, the mushroom has always been connected to the human mind, as well as the green beans combined with that. To me, I look at it as pathways to money, meaning eating it is going to help stimulate ideas on how to generate money. Okay, a lot of people like macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving. That's not what you call like one of the traditional meals, but each family has their idea of their favorite food. Okay, and some people use the holidays to introduce, their or include their favorite food that may not be like the traditional Thanksgiving meal, but it becomes a tradition in their own individual families. Macaroni and cheese symbolizes happiness, mainly because it's the cheese, okay, and then also creativity, okay. So I do have the food list, which I'm attaching. If you don't have the food list already, I'm attaching the food list in the description box. So you can choose what kind of pasta you want to use for your macaroni and cheese if you do choose to make homemade macaroni and cheese. There's all kinds of pastas that have special, shapes and stuff, and whatever kind of desire that you have. You don't have to have the regular elbow macaroni. But I will say that when it comes to pasta in general, there are some pastas that tend to hold in flavor more than others. Like I've tried making macaroni and cheese with bow tie pasta, and it came out okay, right? But there's some like with little holes in it and stuff like that. They do tend to like absorb more cheese flavor. But still, the link is in the description box. You might want to have spiral macaroni and cheese this year, or you might want to have shell-shaped pasta. Or if you're feeling a little naughty, you might want to try the penis pasta as well. I know that in my family, when I was growing up, we would have like yams and stuff like that. Some people have yam pie. Some people have yams on the side, with the yams with the little marshmallows and stuff like that. That's great. Yams symbolize love and rekindling love. Okay, if you're not somebody who's in a couple or something, so this can apply to self-love as well. I don't drink alcohol, but I know that a lot of people do have wine for that, for their celebrations. Of course, wine is something that symbolizes celebrations and offerings. When it comes to spices, all kinds of spices are used during this time of the year. I know when I was growing up, my mom used to use the poultry seasoning, and in our own little way, in some ways, it's kind of a tradition. The McCormick poultry spice, which has a bunch of different spices mixed in it. But what comes to mind is the sage, okay? And sage is a spice that represents longevity, wisdom, protection, and wishes. I'm happy to say that as I was doing my cleaning, I stumbled upon my missing salt and pepper shaker, which I was so happy to find them. Now, I didn't buy these for Thanksgiving emblems for my table, but I just bought them because I thought they were cute, and they do have a spiritual symbolism. Acorns represent, luck and protection, and of course the squirrel, it represents, gathering, and I would say the squirrel is a good representation of harvesting, because, like I said, he gathers things and prepares for the cold winter. Anyway, salt is used for Thanksgiving dinner, just about any dinner, really. Salt represents purification and protection, and pepper is good for exorcisms as well as protection. Bread of all kinds represents stability. If you refer to the food list, there's a different list of grains. If you choose to make your own bread, for dinner rolls and stuff like that, you might pick one from the list. Like maybe you want a wheat roll or you want a rye roll, and you could be as creative as you want to and choose the symbolism that fits your needs. Okay. The big joke in my family when I used to go visit for the holidays. Now, my adoptive sister Lisa used to host the family dinners. So she would be up like, all day making the food. And my sister Tanya sometimes would bring in her food, that she would make and prepare. And the big joke is that I would come and my contribution was always the brown and serve rolls, which were always really easy. They would come in these packages, right? And all they have to do is heat them up. And that was like kind of the big joke, right? Because Maria contributed very little. That was the easiest thing to make. But anyway, bread of all kinds represent stability. So be creative, or you could use just the regular brown and serve rolls. Now, for dessert, most people have pumpkin pie, and I look forward to the pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie represents or symbolizes healing, money, and prosperity. The commonly used spices for pumpkin pie, I've seen different kinds of different recipes for pumpkin pie, and they vary. Not all pumpkin pies are the same. But commonly used spices for pumpkin pie is allspice, which symbolizes healing, luck, and money. Cinnamon, spirituality, success, love, lust, and healing. Clove, exorcisms, love, money, and protection. And nutmeg. It's great for health, luck, and psychic power. These are things that you could be grateful for or things that you want to consume so that you can get them. And I also wanted to show my selection. Now, I have no need to have any, serving plates or anything because it's just me and my son, right? But there are times where I do feel like I want to have a little bit of color or a little bit of extra, you know what I mean? So I will go out and purchase uh, disposable plates. And, if you have guests, I think a lot of people understand why you would use disposable plates because you use so much of your dishes and your pots and pans preparing the food. I can understand if you want to take shortcuts. I chose this one because I love the color, okay? And it also is there's an important message on it, being thankful and grateful. And it is written like in a gold color, which is really nice. And when it comes to symbolism, seems appropriate for Thanksgiving. The link is in the description box. I have a special shout out for the Bakersfield community and really all communities who actually have the chance to view my channel because homelessness is not just a problem in Bakersfield. But I wanted to bring this up because I live on the east side of town and there is a problem with homelessness here. And, when I was a child, um, I was very sensitive to any suffering, and I still am very sensitive to suffering. And I think a lot of people grew up starting off with a lot of compassion for people. But as we become adults, we start dealing with a lot of hardships ourselves, and we see the struggles so much that we become desensitized to it. Okay, it's not that we don't care. It's just that we have a lot on our plate, and sometimes it just kind of goes in the background. Okay. And a few days ago, I think it was about a week ago, okay, I was on the corner of Truxton, East Truxton, and Baker. And I was about to turn, and I looked on my right side, and I saw a man, and he was leaning against the wall. He was blonde, and he looked very, very tired, and he was shivering in the cold. And I was looking in the back of my seat of my car to see if I had like a blanket or something. I didn't have anything, but it bothered me. And I went to work, and I was thinking about this guy all day long, right? Thinking, oh my gosh, if I see him again, I hope I could get him something. Because he could have used a blanket, a coat, a jacket, or whatever. So anyway, I went back home, and I kept thinking about this particular person, and a few days went by, and I woke up one morning, and the minute I woke up, I was thinking about this guy. I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I know that there's blankets at like below Five Below, about for like $5. I've even seen blankets at the Dollar Tree. Okay, right now I think the homeless needs a lot right now, and anyway, I have not seen this guy, but I do plan on buying at least maybe 2 blankets or something just to keep in the back of my car just in case. Okay, and if you have the ability to spare any blankets, maybe you have some old blankets laying around your house, if you could wash them up. And not just on East Truxton and Baker, but anywhere that you see somebody out there who doesn't have anything, you can donate that, and you don't have to do it in a way where you're trying to gain attention to yourself. This is not about patting yourself on the back or looking for some sort of applause. Okay, people really do need help right now. So anyway, that morning that I woke up, and he was on my mind. Okay, so I needed gas at the gas station. So as I was pumping my gas, this lady comes up to me, and she asked me if I had an extra coat. Do I have any extra coat or jacket? And she was cold. And I kept thinking, oh my God, the reason why I was thinking about this man when I first woke up is because I was going to encounter another person who needs something. Okay. I am only one person, and I can't do everything myself. And I don't really ask anything from anybody, but if you can, okay, if you have anything extra to spare, not just for the people on Truxton and Baker, but in Bakersfield, you see the suffering. If you can do something, do what you can. And that goes for people outside of Bakersfield as well. Right now, the homeless needs blankets, coats, jackets, raincoats, boots, anything that can help keep them warm. If you have an extra tent or something, you can go ahead and donate that personally to a person that you see that needs their help. What else do I want to say about that? Yeah, that's just on my mind right now. So like I said, I just try and get things moving and help people as much as I possibly can. And if you can do it, please do. Last week's synchronistic symbol was the blue bunny. This week's synchronistic symbol is a pair of dice. And you can see this anywhere, like if you stumble upon it. Like it could be on a billboard sign, it could be somebody brings in a board game and you see a pair of dice, could be a picture of the dice, whatever. But this week's synchronistic symbol is a pair of dice. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys are all prepared for Black Friday and enjoy all the sales and all the specials and enjoy your Christmas shopping. Generally after Thanksgiving, when I used to have Thanksgiving, like I used to have like the table settings and stuff like that, and then after we'd have dinner, me and my son, and sometimes my niece would come over. It was very strange when we lived in Cal City, but anyway, we would put up the Christmas tree right after. I don't know how you guys do it, but I do hope that you enjoy the holiday season that's coming up, and I hope that you guys are grateful for everything that you have. And until next week, take care and have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving and enjoy Black Friday. See you next week.